What's good? It's your boy Don Panama. You watching Talk of the Streets. I got started in the game. It was my family's in the music business. You know, my father's a DJ, my brother's a producer. So, you know, I didn't think I was gonna end up doing music, but it kind of just chose me. Everybody around me was doing music, and I just kind of got into it on accident, really. You know, I was always into poetry and stuff like that, and different arts and stuff like that, and then naturally it went on into writing rhymes. You know, like my notebooks and everything like that growing up in school turned from schoolwork to straight writing rhymes. So it was kind of like a natural progress for me. Taking it serious. One thing happened to me when I started taking it seriously. I used to sell drugs, and I had my spot, and while I was doing that, I would pass out little CDs and stuff like that. And one guy came up to buy something from me off the stoop, and he was like in shock that it was me. He was like, "Oh shit, Don Panama, what the hell are you doing out here?" And from that point on, I took it seriously. Like, okay, people are, you know, listening to my music. I'll drive up to stoplights or drive up to gas stations, and other cars are bumping my music from DC to Delaware. So I took it real serious then. That's when I started taking it seriously and wanted to, you know, leave certain other things alone and try to focus on that. Well, the same crew that I was doing things with in the streets, we kind of all made that decision. You know, it was a handful of us, and we kind of all made that decision. We had other different ways of making money. So, you know, there's a lot of, I guess there's rappers out there that they struggle, you know, and everything like that to get to the next level and then try to get paid for shows and stuff like that. We already had money. We already had money. We already had cars. You know, we had our own studio. You know, we decided to, everything that we was into, we just bought. We bought the cameras. You know, we bought the lights and everything. So everything that we ever had, you know, we already had money. So it wasn't that hard. What was hard was kind of like leaving that fast lifestyle. It's kind of addictive, you know what I mean? So, you know, we all had to, you know, change our lifestyle a little bit to really focus, like to really focus and really make something of the music, to really set goals and meet them, you know? So that was the hard part, was to leave it alone completely and actually really focus on just doing music. Well, DC's known for go-go music. You know, Backyard, Junkyard, Groovers, Essence, Total Recall. That's what it's known for. But me, it's a little different. You know, my family's from Panama. I grew up in DC, but I would go back and forth to New York. So I learned a lot of stuff about hip-hop from being in New York, being in Brooklyn, and being in Queens. My family came from Panama. A lot of them stayed in New York. So I would spend summers in New York and stuff like that. And then also with my dad being a DJ, my house was like a club. You know, growing up as a kid, my house was like a club. So our toys would be the turntables or a drum machine or a keyboard or something like that. So it was always there. It was always there. So DC influenced me more streetwise than musically. You know, so it was more learning stuff about the streets, you know, knowing what's what, who's who, how to recognize different things. That's what I learned from DC. It wasn't too much musically. When we would go to the go-go's and stuff like that, you know, but it wasn't, hip-hop wasn't real big in DC. I wouldn't say it was just one move. It wasn't just one move. I recently put out a video called I Don't Know. And before then, I had a lot of different connections, a lot of people approaching me. But this time it was a little bit different. You know, I had a lot more emails in my inbox, you know, a lot more texts, a lot more phone calls. So actually putting out that video was probably my biggest move, but it's opened up a whole lot of different doors. You know, your world stars, your Vlads, your This Is 50s, you know, different executives. I'm not going to name any names yet. You know, ain't nothing set in stone. Different executives, different CEOs, black-owned record labels, independent record labels with majors, different things like that. Guys are just reaching out, you know, and different management firms and different agents are actually reaching out to me. So I would say that would have been my big move, is releasing that video. Well, major versus independent. I mean, a lot of the young cats, they don't know that, you know, when you sign a major deal, you pretty much taking out a loan. You know, you borrowing money to make your album, to make the videos, to market, and basically to get your stuff out into the public. With us, it's a little different. You know, with Rich Boy Lifestyle, that's the name of my movement. That's the name of our label. So with that, it's a little bit different. You know, we have our own money. So, you know, if a record label come in, you know, offering us 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, that ain't gonna do it. You know, so it would have to be a bigger situation. You know, we've made a brand. You know, we have models, we have our own production company. You know, we're working on short films and stuff like that. So it would have to be worth our while. You know, to anybody coming up, I would say stay independent, do it yourself, and make them come to you. Mm-hmm. You know, don't go out there, you know, pretty much giving everything away to take out a loan with a record company. Mm-hmm. You know? The next move, I would say the next 3 to 6 months, we have a couple of different projects coming out. There's a documentary that's coming out with my album. I have an album called Look What You Made Me. And that's will be coming out, I would say, first quarter next year. And before that, you'll see the documentary. They'll be released around the same time. And in between that time, you'll probably see about 4 or 5 more different videos for songs that's coming off the album. And I mean, we're also, I mean, don't get it twisted. We're listening to some of the majors. We're taking phone calls. We're taking meetings and stuff like that. But you know, if it ain't right, we don't need them. We don't need them, not yet anyway. You know, we can get our own stuff on MTV. We're on every website there is. Just Google our name. Just Google Don Panama. Google Rich Boy Lifestyle. We're on every major website. You'll see the video on MTV real soon. So we don't need them to do that. You know, so if it ain't worth our while, we probably wouldn't mess with no major labels. We're gonna keep seeing independent releases from us. Our label, well, Lefty the Goodfella, you'll see him next. He's an artist and he's also the vice president. I pretty much call him the Mac Main of Rich Boy Lifestyle, you dig? We also have Rich Girl, she's one of the models, and she's also, you know, going to be releasing some singles. So, but if you got some heat, you know, somebody that you know, looking to get on, I would say get your buzz up. Do it yourself first. You know what I mean? Don't look for anybody, not us, not any majors, anybody else to put you on. Put yourself on first, and then we could collab. Like, I'm not looking to sign or write any checks for any other artists. We got our in-house thing going on. You know, with Rich Boy, we got Lefty the Goodfella, Rich Girl, and about 7 different producers. That's more so what I would be looking for, is more production than artists. The album, Look What You Made Me, will probably be out around March. Mm-hmm. Before that, you would see the documentary for Look What You Made Me, and probably like January, and then the album will follow that in like March. The documentary, Look What You Made Me, because the album is a theme album, you know, and it has to do with pretty much the realness of who I am. You know, you're gonna see us, you know, talking to people. You know, there's a certain class of people who has been around for every situation that I talk about in my rhymes. You know, some of them are dead, some of them in jail, but there's also, you know, them that are still around, and you're gonna be able to hear from them, you know, what the situations was like, you know, different verses, different things, different titles of songs, different concepts, you know, a lot of rappers just be pulling that shit out of thin air. You know, don't be real, it don't be true. But me, on the other hand, and the people that I affiliate with, on the other hand, it's our life. Like, it's actually what happened. And from DC to Delaware, you know, back to Maryland, Jersey, Brooklyn, even back to Panama, you're gonna be able to, you know, see people who were there for certain things that has happened, speak from it, you know, talk about it from their own perspective, you know, because they were there, they saw it, they were involved, you know. So it's gonna be very interesting. It's gonna be interesting for me to watch, you know, because sometimes you don't know how people feel about certain situations, and you know, even though it's about me, I'm gonna get a chance to see people talk about different situations that has happened in the past. So it's dope. It's pretty much gonna be about the album. Everything, all the situations that have made me, hence the title, Look What You Made Me, you know. We coming. Rich boy lifestyle, we coming. I'm pretty sure they know that already, but we coming, you know, and it's all real. Pull my file.